Hi everyone, Hallie Halloween here. So I'm still working on unboxing that Age of Ascension display box. So let's get into it. Here we go with another pack. So probably all heard the exciting news that we're getting another set very soon. Probably October, November. The Worlds Collide. So very anxious to see that. Okay, wow. So it's Brobner, Sanctum, and Untamed, called Be Humbled, the Abode Symbiote. Very interesting. Look at this Archon design. I have never seen that with these stripies here. That's kind of cool. Okay, so let's open that. Alright, here we are. So let's have a look. Let's first remove this index card here, and let's have a look. Okay, so we start out with Untamed. So here in Untamed we have Punctuated Equilibrium. That's an action card. Play, each player discards their hand, then refills their hand as if it were the end of their turn. That's kind of nice, that's kind of cool. Alright. Then we have Kindred Longshot. We know her from Call of the Archons. That's some really nice artwork that we have there. She has Elusive and Skirmish, and whenever she reaps, she deals 2 damage to a creature. So that's kind of nice. Alright, then we have Inca the Spider. So that's a 1 power creature with a poison ability. So any damage dealt by this creature's power during a fight destroys the damaged creature, right? So if it damages something, it kills it. It also has a play and a reap effect that allows you to stun a creature. So you basically want to use it to reap and stun, keeping some board control. And in the meanwhile, whenever they try to kill it, with fighting with another creature, it's also dead, right? All right, so then we have Fog Bank. So we know that one. That's 1 amber action. Your opponent can use creatures to fight on their next turn, right? So very useful. Okay, here we have an upgrade. Camouflage also gives you an amber, and it says creatures not on a flank cannot fight this creature. So that's kind of nice. Okay, then we have an Amber Spine Mongrel. I haven't seen this one before in one of my decks. Some really nice art, as you can see. Hazardous 3. Before the creature is attacked, it deals 3 damage to the attacking enemy. And after your opponent uses a creature to reap, you gain an Amber. So that's really annoying. I actually recently had an opponent with this card in his deck, and it was difficult for me to remove it. And you don't want to reap, because whenever you reap, you're also helping your opponent. So that's a really nice card, and I think it's very fitting for Untamed. Alright, so let's see, that's our third creature. Now we have Song of Spring. Gives you 1 amber. That's some really weird looking art, actually. And it's an action saying shuffle any number of friendly untamed creatures from your hand, discard pile, or battle line back into your deck. So that's kind of nice. So if you're maybe at the end of your deck and you have a lot of untamed creatures in your discard pile, you could say, okay, let's take all of those, reshuffle them in my deck, and you're quite sure that you will draw them. Could be very interesting in combination with a full moon, for example. So that's a nice action. Let's put that here. Okay, so then we have another action, save the pack. You destroy each damaged creature, gain 1 chain. So that could be interesting in combination with Kindred Longshot, right? You could reap, deal 2 damage to a creature, and then you save the pack to destroy each damaged creature. So that's very useful. Let's move these up here a bit. Alright, then we have Persistence Hunting. So that gives you an amber. And it says choose a house, exhaust each enemy creature of the chosen house. Very useful and very thematic, and well, in the line of what we have seen before for Untamed. Okay, Marmor Swarm creature. That's 2 power, but it gets +1 power for each amber in your pool. So that could be crazy, right? These can become very powerful. Now you also have to know that like, let's say you have 6 amber, then this would be 8 power. Maybe someone damages it for 2 power, and then you forge a key, you lose your amber, then it also dies, right? Well, at least that's how I interpret it. So we've got 2 Marmo Swarms, that's nice. These are some interesting creatures. And then we have this creature called Glimmer. It's a 1 power, it's an alpha, so you have to play it before doing anything else this step. Whenever you play it, you can return a card from your discard pile to your hand. So that's very interesting and definitely in the theme of Untamed. You always want to get stuff back from their discard pile. So I think overall there's some nice creatures, right? We've got Marmo Swarms, Glimmer, that's an interesting one. And especially I think the Amber Spine Mongrel, if you can keep that alive, that could be good. You could combine that with a Camouflage, right? And then I think we also, we've got quite a lot of creatures, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we have this Song of Spring that would allow us to get all of them actually back into our deck, right? So overall, seems interesting. We've got some board control, we've got some good creatures, and we have a nice upgrade, this Camouflage, to attach it to the Amber Spine Mongrel. So overall, I like this house. Let's see what else we've got. So the next house will be Sanctum. So let's have a look. Okay, so we start out with an action called The Harder They Come. Play purge a creature with power 5 or higher. Very interesting, especially with these high power Propnar creatures running around. So very interesting. Okay, then we start out with an artifact. Gives you an Amber, and it's an Omni ability. Sacrifice Potion of Invulnerability. For the remainder of the turn, each friendly creature cannot be dealt damage. So we know that one, right? I think that's the Call of the Archons one. Equalize, so you gain an Amber. Play, redistribute the Amber on friendly creatures among friendly creatures, and then redistribute the Amber on enemy creatures among enemy creatures. So this is a really hard counterplay to decks that want to capture Amber, right? For example, other Sanctum decks that capture Amber, and then you can start redistributing it, putting it on an easier to kill creature, kill that, and take all of your Amber back. And you yourself, you could also redistribute the Amber that you're capturing in a more efficient way. So I like this card. Alright, so then we have Doorstep to Heaven. Each player with 6 or more Amber is reduced to 5 Amber, and it gives you an Amber. You have to be careful, you first gain the Amber, so you have to be careful that if you have 5 Amber, you gain 1, you also reduce to 5 again, so you have to be careful with that. Barrister Joya, 5 power, 1 armor, and enemy creatures cannot reap. A very annoying card, very annoying card. I've suffered from this card in several matchups, but a good creature, right? A staple in Sanctum. Then we have the Grey Rider with the deploy keyword, so this creature can enter play anywhere in your battle line, and it has play, fight, reap. You may ready and fight with a neighboring creature, so that's good. Okay, then we have an upgrade. Gives you an Amber and Protect the Weak. This creature gets plus armor and taunt, right? We have 2 of those. Okay, so we could combine that with some of the stuff that we already have. For example, that's interesting on Maruk the Marked, right? Because he has 5 power, 1 armor, and after Maruk the Marked prevents damage with its armor, you capture 1 Amber for each damage just prevented, so that's interesting. You could attach Protect the Weak to that. You could even attach 2 of those. You have 3 armor, 2 or 3 armor, and you can capture a lot of Amber from your opponent. So that's definitely interesting. Okay, then we have Healing Blast. That gives you an Amber and says fully heal a creature. If you healed 4 or more damage this way, you gain 2 Amber, right? So you could also use that on opponent's creatures. I think it could be interesting because we also have Propnar creatures. So maybe there are some creatures in there with a lot of health, so that could be interesting to use that on those. Okay, then we have Borden the Redeemed. 3 power, it's elusive, and action capture 2 Amber. So that's a good one. And of course we end with a Blinding Light, also very interesting card for Sanctum. So it gives you an Amber, choose a house, and you stun each creature of that house. So in combination with the Exhaust all creatures and the Untamed house, we have some board control stuff going on. So let's have a look again. I have the feeling that we have a lot of Amber on our cards, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in Sanctum alone, right? So that's definitely going to help us a lot, gaining some amber. We also have Equalize to redistribute, which would allow us to redistribute amber that we've captured with Borden or with Maruk the Marked, right? We could redistribute that onto other creatures, or if they are in trouble, you can move it away, right? So I think that's definitely an interesting deck of cards in this house. So let's have a look at the final one, Brobnar. I'm always so excited to see what we'll get in Brobnar, because they are really good in Age of Ascension. So let's have a look and let's hope for the best. So we start out with a Tireless Krogak. So it's a 7-power creature, but it cannot reap, right? Tireless Krogak cannot reap, but you may use it as if it belonged to the active house, so it's actually part of any house. But if your opponent has no creatures in play, you destroy Tireless Krogak. So you also have to be aware, if you play this creature when your opponent has no creatures, it just dies, right? Alright. Ooh, okay. This is an upgrade that I haven't seen yet. So that's Cyber Giant Rig. Gives you an amber and says, this creature gains, at the end of your turn, this creature loses a +1 power counter. Play, fully heal this creature and give it a +1 power counter for each damage healed. Okay, so if I have, for example, a 5-power creature, it has 4 damage, I play this, then it would fully heal and then get 4 power counters. But then at the end of the turn, it will start losing those power counters. So that could be interesting. Definitely. Okay. Okay, that's a nice upgrade. Then we have another giant creature. I haven't seen this one either. So a 7-power called Bellowing Petrozite. A giant. While Bellowing Petrozite is ready, each creature takes 1 damage after it enters play. So as long as it is ready, each creature takes a damage. So each creature, so also yours, but you want to reap with it or fight with it, and after that you play your creatures, right? So very interesting. Okay, haven't seen that one. Screech Bomb, that's an oldie and a goodie. So it's an Omni sacrifice Screech Bomb, and your opponent loses 2 amber. So that's always good. Then we have Relentless Assault. This will allow us to ready and fight with up to 3 different friendly creatures, one at a time. Okay. Then we have Little Rapskull. This is an extremely annoying creature. 2-power, elusive, and creatures must fight when used if able. So yeah, I find this a difficult card. I don't like it. So because it says creatures, so that's also your own creatures, and there are times that you don't want to do this. And I have a deck where I also have this card, and you really need to reap to get your amber. So that's really annoying to have this one on the board if you can't get it removed. Now on the other hand, it also bothers your opponent, right? But maybe when you're fighting a deck that doesn't really rely on reaping, this is a really bad play. So you have to be careful with that. We've got Pound. This gives you an amber, deals 2 damage to a creature with 1 damage splash. Also interesting, definitely in combination with the Save the Pack card in Untamed. So that's some good damage. Then we have another artifact, Gauntlet of Command, action, ready and fight with a friendly creature. Superb. Okay, Ganger Chieftain. We know that one, 5-power, you may ready and fight with a neighboring creature. And with a little bit of luck, we also have the Drummer Knot, right? So that could be interesting, let's hope. So, First Blood, action, gives you an amber, it's an alpha, so you have to do that before doing anything else this step. And it says, deal 2 damage for each friendly Brobnar creature. You may divide this damage among any numbers of creatures. So that's a good card, that's a decent damaging card. Bingle Bang Bang, 2 power, before a fight, deal 5 damage to each neighbor of the creature Bingle Bang Bang fights. With flavor text, boom. Alright. So that's a good one. Let's see, we don't have the Drummer Knot combo with Ganger Chieftain, too bad. This is a 1-2 punch, so you can stun an enemy creature, or if it's stunned, you destroy it. And this gives you an amber. Alright, so I think the creatures here, they are okay. I'm really not a fan of the Little Rapskull guy, but we'll see how that plays out. And we've got some good action cards. I don't think that that's really a problem, but I think overall the Brobnar house it could have been better, right? This is not the best Brobner house that you can have, but overall I think I like it. I will have to test it to see how it works. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye.